It's another exciting edition of Football Analysis. You know, it's always 100 when we're talking about the best sports in the world. Welcome to SEETV. My name is Omalaba Keraji. And you know how we do it. We do the business of talking football, all right? It's going to be the European roundup. We're going to talk about the Champions League as well as the Europa League. I'm not doing the show alone, of course. I've got with me Ibrahim Ayobiojo. I will not be mentioning the nickname.
I'm not mentioning it. The next Easy Baba people, number one. I'm here again.
I was trying to avoid saying the number one.
I know, but don't worry. In due time, you'll be saying it.
I will not.
Huh?
You can be a part of the show. Make sure to follow us and join in the conversation right across our different social media platforms. On SEETV, that's the handle. SEETV Live is the handle on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And on Instagram and TikTok, we are at SEETV Live 1. All right. So, people, before we start talking about the footballing part, let's do a bit of a pulse check. So, how have you been?
Pulse check, right? I'm good. I've been good. I've been nice. I've been fine. My team is in the round of 16. Feels good. Feels great. I'm happy.
Oh, God.
I'm giving you all the...
It's okay. It's the pride. Too much pride.
Yes, no, I'm in the round of 16. It's not been easy, but I'm happy. I'm glad.
We got there, right?
Yeah. How about you? How have you been?
I'm very well. Football has been treating me right.
Yeah.
I've been having goals, which I absolutely love and enjoy, except when it's my team that is considered. But as regards other teams scoring and getting us 9 goals in some match centers, 7 goals in some games, 5. They've been a drought somewhere, some places that did not score that we expected them to, but it's all right. They've given us goals in the past, so we'll use that one to hold body. So yeah, true. I've had quite the week of Champions League football.
Yeah, week of football.
Right. Okay, let's start with Chelsea now, shall we? RB Salzburg welcomed Chelsea. Okay, and that one went down. We had 3 goals in that game, with Chelsea being the victor in that particular encounter. Talking about the Group E, as it were, we had a very early kickoff on Tuesday and all that. Was it ever in doubt though that Chelsea were going to win?
Not really. It was never in doubt. Salzburg, how would I put it? They came to the party. They are the home team. They tried as much as possible to put Chelsea on edge all through the match. But it was obvious, like the quality that Graham Potter's side possesses was way more than what Salzburg was bringing to the party, and it was nice. It was good for them. I especially the fact that the 2 goals that they were scored and Chelsea scored were golazos. Like they were pure class. It's nice. It was never in doubt.
Okay, and talking about the goal scorers and the quality of goals that we had Mateo Kovacic opening the scoring, and then we had Junior Adamu leveling it off. So we're like, okay, would they play out the 1-1 draw like they did the last time out when they met the previous game where they did meet in the Champions League? But no, Kai Havertz said he had something up his sleeves and he scored a stunner goal. Very, very good goal. Absolutely deserved finish. It was just everything beautiful and nice. But let's talk about a bit of how much chances Chelsea had, considering the fact that they scored 2 goals. Okay, let's talk about the stats now, shall we? We had Salzburg having 16 shots in total, 7 on target. Chelsea 15 in total, 11 on target. From a Graham Potter's point of view, there still seems to be something that the attack is yet to get. You can't play that good. You can create that many chances and only convert 2.
And the worst part about it is that most of their chances were on target. And I kind of be saying that the goalkeeper was having a very, very nice day. He tried his best, but Chelsea were wasteful. I don't really understand what's it called, Aubameyang sometimes. One game is going to give you like, how did this score from this angle? Next game, like, bro, this is a clear-cut chance. Score. This is not up to Graham Potter. This is not it. It is the strikers. What's it called? Strikers' absence as in strikers' lack of coordination in front of goal. It was meant to be more than 2, way more than 2. But it is what it is. I feel Graham Potter should be looking at his striking options and be like, okay, which ones should I pair together? Should I pair Armando Broja and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, or should I use Raheem Sterling and Aubameyang, or should I use Raheem Sterling and Armando Broja? or should I just use the three of them at the same time? This is a good headache for him to have, but not really a good headache because it's still like he's testing his players. And time is ticking in the Champions League, time is ticking in the Premier League. You might not have
the luxury of
time to do that kind of experiments, but I feel they need I can't say they're missing Lukaku. They have Aubameyang, so probably they should.
It's time for their forward to come to the party.
It doesn't. It's just up to them. It is up, especially Raheem Sterling. Like, come on, they paid like millions of pounds sterling for you, bro. Come on.
So what you did there?
I'm back.
I noticed that one. If you did not catch that, you might need to back up eternity in a bit. We have Chelsea topping Group E with 10 points, and the closest competitors, as it were, would be AC Milan, whom they beat home and away with 7 points. Milan have, and Chelsea. It's looking like they are confirmed Group E toppers, but
it's football.
We still have one more game, and talking about goals, they are tied on goals with. Talking about goals scored, they are tied on goals with Milan, but they've considered lesser. So I don't see AC Milan scoring that many goals. All right, they're going to be taking on Salzburg, actually. I think, they're going to be taking on Salzburg.
If Chelsea are taking their chances against Salzburg, Chelsea would have won that game with like at least 5 goals. And AC Milan knows how to take their chances. They create them and they take their chances. The time they are losing is when they are not creating anything. But when they do create, they get goals. So if AC Milan can get like 4 goals against Salzburg and Dynamo against Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I'm looking at.
But in fairness to Dynamo, they beat,
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm looking at Dynamo being like, oh, we beat you at our place. You are going to the Stamford. You're just going to get 3 points. And I'm looking at Potter. No, I didn't sack our last one.
They're not going to get me off my job.
Yeah, I understand. And it should be a very nice outing, especially Kovacic facing his former team. Like,
it's going to be quite the homecoming.
Yeah.
Or no? Okay,
no,
it's going to be at home, Stamford.
Yeah, home Stamford.
Okay, let's see how that particular game will be going. We still have next week, the next few weeks, for the draws and all of that stuff. Okay.
Now, game, though.
Yeah, before we get, the draw's going to be happening on Monday, November 7th. Yes, okay. So let's talk about Sevilla taking on Copenhagen. Group G, we are at, it's quite the fleet. We're talking about the games that went down first, okay. Sevilla getting the better of Copenhagen right there. El Nasri, yeah. Okay. And Isco getting goals as well as Gonzalo Montiel. So 3 goals they had, talking about Sevilla. Can we say their season has finally started?
Too little too late. In the Champions League, their season has started just fine. The La Liga, they're just coming up from the 18th position. They are currently 15th. But Champions League guys, bye-bye. It's just okay. They're still in Europe. They have the luxury of Europa League, and we know Sevilla and the Europa League.
They love it.
Are we going to say they intentionally crashed out of the Champions League again just to go with Europa?
What kind of conspiracy theory is that?
I just had to because we know Sevilla. If they find themselves in the Europa League, they are like the Real Madrid of the Europa League for to an extent. That the way Champions League anthem does to the Real Madrid players. I don't know what
the right? It doesn't say for Sevilla, but you can argue that they're perennial winners. Talking about how good they have been in the competition, and talking about the Europa League, they seem to understand the terrain quite well, and they dominate that. No questions asked, absolutely. Yeah. Let's move away a bit from that game, but shout out to Sevilla finally waking up and all that. Let's take a look at Paris Saint-Germain taking on Maccabi Haifa. They gave us 9 goals in total. And
I was waiting for the 10th one. I was waiting for the 10th goal.
What did you expect to score? No, what do you want?
No,
they annihilate somebody from 7-2. You still wanted one more goal.
Yes, now, if you're about to get to that point, I hate to see you not get to that point. So that's who I was expected to score. By the way,
how much points can I see? It's the way you play with words. Goodness. Yeah, okay, let's go at the goal scorers for Paris Saint-Germain. We had Lionel Messi getting a brace in that one. Kylian Mbappe a brace as well. Neymar 1 goal, and then we had an unfortunate own goal from Sean Goldberg, and then we had Carlos Soler.
That was my pick of the punch.
Compounded the woes, really?
Yeah, so
compounded the woes for Maccabi Haifa. Maccabi were not They didn't lie down entirely, but I think the quality of Paris Saint-Germain shone through. Abdoulaye Seck was the man who got a brace.
Yeah.
Consolation for him. I mean, they did show that they know how to get something in front of goal. The defense, a different question entirely. Okay, so we had PSG had beaten Maccabi earlier on, 2-1. It was quite close. Was it 3-1, right? It was quite close. And now seeing the way Christopher Garcia's men tore Maccabi apart, like they annihilated Maccabi. Like, sorry, what point were they trying to make?
They were trying to spell Maccabi, but time ran out. Time ran out on them, but just honestly, they were like, okay, we went to your house, you were showing, you were showboating, they sweat like they put it on Moscow, that 3 points.
Yeah, okay, they paid for that.
Yeah, you guys are coming to the Park the Princess, right? You come and see now, the M&M, the Chocolate Boys, and they did amazing. Neymar just got one goal, but his influence all game was he was the one that made Moscow. He forced the own goal from Goldberg. Prior to the own goal, Mbappe's goals distinct. Lionel Messi's first goal. Fuck.
Stuff of dreams.
Leo, come on, you are not Modric. You might be LM10 as well, but you are not Modric. Come on, you don't do that kind of. But it is what it is. It's the goat speaking, and I feel Christopher Geitler has done amazing regarding the cohesion PSG has right now. The only thing that has left is the defense. I know he has the tactical nuance of getting the best out of his team defensively, and I'm still waiting for that to occur for PSG. Keep it tight at the back. You don't even have to tell them to go and score goals. Those people at the front, so you don't have to tell them how to score goals. They can score as if you give them the chance to score 80 goals in a game, they'll score it as long as you give them the chance. And their midfield right now, he bought the amount of people they want, the kind of players they want. Renato Sanchez, Christopher Solar, where I just mentioned. This guy he bought from Porto. He bought one person from Porto. But I feel he has a compact squad. He has a compact squad, and they should be. I can't call them favorites, but to an extent, I feel like they are dark horses for this year's Champions League. Yeah, they're doing well.
Okay, we'll see Paris Saint-Germain will be coming with the goods in the knockout phases. Right, they've done the bit in the group stages. Let's see if they take that form over now to the knockout stages. Right, we still have one more game to play though, so we'll see how that goes down. Let's just stay with Group H now, shall we? A shock result, I would say. Was it shock? Maybe the number of goals that went down in that particular game. Talking about Benfica taking on Juventus. We had 7 goals in that fixture. What a game from Benfica's point of view. What a loss for Juventus.
Yeah. Second half, Blitz couldn't even help them. It made the scoreline more respectable. But it was all gone. It was all gone like Utilo. Pew. It was all gone for them, and I am always. It feels to you like I'm talking against Maximiliano Allegri. I am not talking against him. I am just talking about the things I'm saying he's doing. He's not being the Max Allegri I know. It's like somebody else. He's like this is the clone of him. Yeah. I can't say enough of how much outbreak I am having as a mini Juve fan.
Sorry, you need to pick a side. No, only you won Liverpool. Only you won Madrid.
Okay.
Only you won Juventus.
Okay, well, about Real Madrid, it was Cristiano Ronaldo induced.
He has left.
No, because I'm saying they're still Real Madrid. On Juventus, it was Andrea Pirlo. But still, let's talk about Allegri and his shortcomings. You are not in the running for the Serie A at this stage, at this early stage. Your team is number 8 on the log. You are not in the running for the Champions League qualification anymore. You are out. You are now facing. You are now in the Europa League spot. Although Andrea Agnelli, that is the Juve president, and Pavel Nedved, their VP, they've backed him in the what's it called in the press. Like he's not going to be fired anytime soon. They believe in him. This is all on the players and everything. To an extent, this is on the players, but the fault always falls on who? The gaffer. And I feel Allegri should be doing better. He should know better. They were already 4-1 down. It was half time.
It was 3. It was 3-1 at half time.
And before, beginning of second half, they scored 4-1. Like, if that match had ended that way, come on now. I just want to be realistic with myself and all other Juve fans here, that we know Allegri has done well for Juventus.
So perhaps it's time.
It's just time,
to
bro.
take a bow.
This is as early as possible. You have on the norms, you could like Europa League and the winner of the Europa League gets automatic qualifications to the Champions League, right? Oh, we can have a chance to the Europa League. You know, with the Europa League. Oh, come on now. We have big boys in the Europa League now. We're going to talk about them later, but I don't talk about them now. But the ones we know about our day before, you have Manchester United, you have Arsenal, you even have Real Sociedad, and don't forget about Maurizio Sarri's Lazio. They are in the Europa League. Dude, I know why she's in there, but I'm just trying to get my point across. There are people in the Europa League that are not going to give you breathing space.
It's going to be quite the game. So I think the point, maybe these clubs did it intentionally. They wanted Thursday night football to be premium because
it's not premium,
the caliber of people in this place.
The only premium football we have is on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
If the big boys are also on Thursdays.
Which big boys?
They qualify.
Which big boys? Only if you're a big boy and you're playing on Thursdays, probably your match was rescheduled.
Shots fired. Okay, 4 goals to 3 ended in favor of Benfica. Shout out to them. Let's take a quick look at the goal scorers now. Antonio Silva, João Mario, and Rafa Silva, the goal scorers for Benfica, getting a brace here. And shout out to him. I mean, what a game they had. Moiskin also getting himself on the score sheet, and that was 3-1. And we're like, okay, Juventus are going to pull something out. Well, they woke up eventually in the second half where it was too little, too late. Milik and McKennie getting themselves a goal each, but 4-3, too little, too late. We have Group H looking very interesting. PSG with 11 points, Benfica tied on points with them, 11 points as well. And it's very exciting what's going on in that particular group, though we know the top and bottom anyway. Juventus in 3rd place. They are tied on points with Maccabi. Haifa right there with 3 points, and that is something that I personally did not see happening.
I'm not even saying they're going to the Europa League.
3, I mean, they're currently seated in that spot. Chances are that might change, but it's, I mean,
if we don't end up going to the Europa League, and by we I mean Juve, if we don't end up going to the Europa League, bye Allegri. I don't know if I'm nearly going to be doing a mistake and be saying.
But it's going to be very interesting the next round of games. Yeah. We have PSG taking on Juve. So the last game. So that's going to be very, very interesting. You have Maccabi taking on. Maccabi taking on what's it called now, Benfica. So if Maccabi gets something out of that game and Juventus get beat, Maccabi will be going to Europa League instead. It's very exciting. I live for this kind of drama, apparently. I love it. You guys can tell, I absolutely enjoy all that is going on right now. All this permutation and combination that a lot of managers are doing and pressing and punching the calculator. Let's continue now with Borussia Dortmund taking on Manchester City. They held them to a 1-1 draw. No, sorry. It was a goalless draw. Okay, this particular game, we expected so many goals. I personally expected, I wanted to be hearing goal, like end-to-end action, but no, we didn't have that. Shout out to Dortmund, I should say. I think they were able to stifle City to a certain extent, even though they had, what's it called? City, we should talk about that, the missed penalty by Riyad Mahrez. But at this point, we knew City were table toppers as their group, right? We knew it's done, kind of. In Group G, it was sorted, settled. Dortmund in 2nd place, Sevilla in 3rd, Copenhagen 4th, and City with what's it called now, with 1st place with 11 points. What is very interesting for me is the fact that Manchester City's Guardiola, with the kind of firepower they have up front, have played 2 back-to-back Champions League games without scoring a goal.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually true. Copenhagen goalless and Dortmund goalless. And they had penalty misses by the same player, Riyad Mahrez. As you said, kudos to Borussia Dortmund. They did well, and they even had a better game stats-wise. They had more attempts, even more on targets than Manchester City in that game. Are we going to say because of Erling Brotana not playing the second half? But he played the first 45 minutes, and he was substituted. Pep Guardiola was like, he's not really injured, just a foot, foot muscle and or whatnot, and he needed rest and all. But I'll still say before, kudos to Edwin Terry's boys. They did amazing. They know that okay, you might have annihilated us at the Etihad Stadium, but here nothing. Nothing for you.
They got something though. They got a point. So.
Well, yeah, they got a point, but they didn't get a goal. And this should be like the first time under Pep Guardiola that they will go goalless in 2 Champions League games back to back. And it's actually nice to see though.
Is it though?
It is nice to see to an extent because those guys will blitz anybody. Copenhagen are the luckiest, and I'm happy for Copenhagen. You went to the Copenhagen house and you're expecting to beat them anyhow.
But they did try actually. In fairness, we're able to stifle.
They did well. They did good. It's good for them. But should we talk about the penalty miss, or should we talk about the also called the spirit of no? They don't have the luck. They don't have the luck of penalties. They have lost 25 penalties under Pep Guardiola. Like
but across all competitions.
Yeah, across all competitions.
It's not the best of record, but it's also not the worst of record.
That is because they have always... I remember Fernandinho trying to take their penalty one time. I remember Vincent Kompany at one period. Then their era ended. This new era, Sergio Aguero, who was with the penalties, but he missed a couple as well. On to Rodri, then Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez has been their most prolific, although he has missed 4 and scored 10, right? But Pep Guardiola himself has come out to say it like a couple of times that the best penalty taker in the team is Ederson Moraes. Don't be scared. Let Ederson go and take the penalty. If they hit you on the counter and they score, it is what it is. It's football. It's football. If Ederson Moraes had gone there and scored the screamer, nobody's going to be saying this. Don't forget about our legendary #1 goalkeeper, Vincent Oshomo Inyama. Do you know how many penalties Inyama scored while he was playing for Inyimba, while he was playing for Maccabi Tel Aviv? No. I'm
still stuck on the fact that I said if they're going to score you.
It is what it is.
It is not what it is. Nobody wants to put themselves in that kind of situation. I think
but as long as it is approved by the coach that you are the one to take the penalty, they should have means. Okay, Jao Cancelo, you stay here. Manuel Akonji, you stay here. Marque, you stay here. Too much
permutations and differentiation going on just to have one person take the penalty. But I absolutely agree that considering the fact that penalty taking is part of Ederson Moraes' strength.
Yeah.
It might be a bit unusual because we don't have a lot of goalkeepers be prolific at penalties, or even if they are, they don't tend to take it for their clubs and all that. But maybe it's time for Pep Guardiola to think out of the box and let the man who is ready and fit for the job. But shout out to Riyad Mahrez, he's done well.
Yeah,
missing 4 out of 10, and I think 14. That just might mess with him. The fact that he's missed 2 penalties back to back, but also
Alan scored 1 in between.
You also need to be careful. I'm talking about Mahrez's psyche now, okay, right? Yeah. You also need to be careful though if he is taken away from penalty duties immediately now. That just might cause some kind of problems.
I actually think he has been taken off the duty because he was on the field when
I think now if Alan is on, Alan will be taking the penalty. So he wasn't available.
So at the end of the day, the duty is off him. He's the vice penalty taker. He should be happy with it at the end of the day because he's been doing well, but he's been missing, as another put it, crucial penalties for them. He has scored penalties when they were ahead and had no issues, but when they needed him to score the penalty, pim.
Okay, but we have Group G sorted, like I already mentioned. It's all good in that place. Let's move away now. We're going back to Group E, that group that has Chelsea, Salzburg, Dynamo, and Milan. We had Milan thrashing Dynamo Zagreb 4-0. I think Milan decided to take the anger of what Chelsea has done to them. I mean, Chelsea did flog them back to back, I had to say the very least, and decided to give us something, and they got 4 goals in that one. We have Matteo Gabbia, the goal scorer, the opening goal scorer, Rafael Leao, Olivier Giroud, and Lubicic, the man with the unfortunate own goal. So we had 4 goals in that game, and I think this should seal it for Milan getting second spot.
100%, 100%, because what are they facing in the last match?
I was just waiting, like, wait, are you really sure?
I'm like 100.
They take on Salzburg, and Milan have 7 points, Salzburg have 6 points. So